After Pope falls, British monarchy under severe attack, global turbulence increases. By Benjamin. February 19, 2013. The resignations of Pope Malevolent and Queen Beatrix have now put the British monarchy under severe attack with allegations of incest, human sacrifice and cuckoo bird-like substitutions of genuine monarchs with non-genetically linked intruders. It is not clear yet if these allegations are true or are merely part of a psychological warfare campaign aimed at forcing the resignation of Queen Elizabeth along with Princes Charles and William. The detailed allegations can be seen at the following two links: http://americannationalmilitia.com/arrested/ http://www.theearldoftreuth.net/no6.html#uspgmvager. Me5 source says the articles above are disinformation related to ongoing attempts to seize massive wealth controlled by the UK royal family. What is clear is that heavy infighting is going on at the top. There are many seemingly unrelated events, notably meteorite falls and disease outbreaks, that may in fact be signs of cabal infighting. During the last week, meteorites, rocks that actually land, and meteors, ones that explode in the sky, were reported in Russia, Japan, Cuba and Florida, where Obama was staying for a top-secret golf game. Perhaps unrelatedly, a SARS-like disease and/or bird flu were reported in the UK, Mexico and Germany last week. Not to mention a major dam burst in China. In the midst of all this, Russia has dispatched nuclear bombers to threaten U.S. bases while North Korea, acting as a proxy for Japan, revealed to the world it had intercontinental nuclear missile capability. This was a message by the Japanese to the Chinese, Russians and Americans that it was not some stuffed turkey ready to be carved up. With the Pope, Queen Beatrix, the Bushes and the Rockefellers out of the picture, the struggle now seems to be between backers of President Barack Thunder of Satan Obama, the British monarchy, the Gnostic Illuminati and the Asian secret societies. Obama was taken to Florida over the weekend for some secret mission and apparently happened to be there just in time for a meteor shower. Is this a coincidence? Remember, the Russian meteorite fall came after a homosexually bonded skull and bones slave and opium secret society U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry was repeatedly ignored by Russia's foreign minister. It also came after two Russian nuclear bombers entered U.S. airspace near the Guam military base in the Pacific. It could all be a coincidence, but then again it could be big boys waving their toys at each other. The Gnostic Illuminati say that without the Pope behind him, Obama is like a three-legged stool that just lost a leg. The Gnostic Illuminati say they are descended from the survivors of Atlantis and Carthage, and they believe the evil entity responsible for the destruction resides in Rome. In their view, the destruction of Rome would be justified by the historical actions of Rome against other great ancient cities and civilizations. We can only hope that if the next pope is named Peter the Roman, that he will merely be the last Roman pope before the Roman Catholic Church merges with the Orthodox Christian and Protestant churches and it ceases to be Roman. We must all pray that Rome and its priceless artistic, architectural and cultural heritage survive. The photograph in the link above of the Pope making a Masonic handshake with the Queen in front of a blonde boy in a kilt does raise a lot of questions. It is true that most members of the British Commonwealth have been brought up with the Queen as a benevolent symbol with little real power. During my childhood she was presented as a symbol of all that was good and great about the British people and the British Empire. The bad stuff they did was not the Queen's fault. However, the Queen as a symbol may not be the same thing as the Queen as a human being. A first cousin of the Queen has told me in the past about human sacrifices presided over by the Queen at Balmoral Castle. This is what an Me5 source had to say about that. Yes, I have also been told the same by a credible source. There is also plenty of evidence that Princess Diana was killed to protect the honor of the British royal family because she was pregnant with the child of her Muslim fiancé Dodi Fayed. Then again, there was the recent confirmed finding of the body of an Eastern European male, suspected of being linked to the heroin trade, at Sandringham Castle. What the Queen needs to do, if she is to survive the ongoing onslaught, is to come clean about any skeletons in her closet and ask for the forgiveness of her people. The Mi-5 source says that both the Queen and the Pope were symbolic figureheads of ancient bureaucratic organizations that were hostile towards them and chasing after the great wealth controlled by the British monarchy and the papacy. The CIA retorts that the Queen has been repeatedly caught trying to get her hands on assets that belong to the global collateral accounts and not her. Apart from Obama, the Queen and the Pope, there were other signs of high-level action against the cabal last week. In particular, there are signs of what may be an organized global boycott against cabal-controlled corporations. Recently, India has cancelled a $750 million Anglo-Italian helicopter deal over allegations of bribery. A French military aircraft sale to India is also on hold. Then there are the mysterious battery problems that have virtually stopped all Boeing aircraft sales since the beginning of this year. Then again there is the Russian ban on all beef imports from the U.S. Are we seeing a pattern here? There is also now whistleblowing taking place in France concerning the ongoing French theft of Tunisian, Libyan and Malian gold. Here is a French-language article with the details. http://www.pharmadin.com/var/lower-sale-de-e-ben-ali-passe-improvement-par-nice.113081.html. The unrest in Europe, meanwhile, has spread east. Last week there were riots in Bulgaria following a recent drastic hike in energy prices, according to a source there. There will be more price hikes followed by more riots in Europe and the U.S. In Asia, meanwhile, now that the Chinese New Lunar Year's holidays are ending, the new regime of 11 Jinping will formally take over the reins of government. There will be lots of secret negotiations during the last part of February and, following that, the new government is expected to come out with an aggressive domestic and international agenda. If the Chinese play their cards right and coordinate with the 180-nation BRICS group, they should be able to force an end to the cabal-dominated post-war international system of governance. If they play their cards badly, for example by falling into the baited Senkaku/Diaoyu Islands trap, they could lose all their valuable soft power.